Hello students, how are you all? Welcome to online classes. In the last session we have started P block elements in which 15th group elements started. So introduction, periodic properties, physical properties, chemical reactivity with hydrogen, oxygen, halogen, metals we have discussed. In this session I am going to discuss nitrogen and their compounds, phosphorus and their compounds. Nitrogen and their compounds. Nitrogen compounds simply. So in that, first one is N2. About N2 we need to study. Second one is about NH3, ammonia we need to study. Third one is about HNO3, nitric acid we need to study. Fourth one is about oxides of nitrogen. So we need to study these compounds under nitrogen compounds. We start with the first one, dinitrogen, N2. This is first one. N2 is also called dinitrogen, also called nitrogen gas. It is nitrogen gas. So you know already 78% by volume of atmosphere occupied by nitrogen gas. Commercially it can be prepared by air. Air contains nitrogen and oxygen in the large amount. So on distillation or liquefaction we can separate the nitrogen from the oxygen gas commercially. Yes. Commercially nitrogen is prepared from air by distillation. It is a fractional distillation or liquefaction, or by liquefaction. Liquefaction means air converted into liquid. So air contains nitrogen and oxygen. Their boiling points are 77.2 and 90 Kelvin. 77.2 Kelvin and 90 Kelvin, these are the boiling points. So first it will be escaped out from the vessel because of low boiling point. So oxygen is retained in the vessel. Nitrogen gas is released out first and oxygen left in the container during distillation phenomenon, which is having low boiling point, that will be vaporized first. Okay. In the laboratory, how can we prepare? In the laboratory, it can be prepared by taking that is ammonium chloride and NaNO2. Ammonium chloride reacts with NaNO2, sodium nitrite. Then N2 gas will be formed. Na and Cl removed as NaCl. 2 oxygens and 4 hydrogens removed as a H2O. Nitrogen gas is removed. In this step there are few impurities like NO, nitric oxide, and HNO3 acting as impurities. NO and HNO3s are impurities formed in the above process. Impurities in above process. Okay. So these will be removed by passing through concentrated sulfuric acid. Then these impurities will be removed along with the concentrated sulfuric acid. We will get a pure nitrogen gas, right? Containing concentrated sulfuric acid containing K2Cr2O7. K2Cr2O7, potassium dichromate. chromic acid will be formed. It is acting as a cleansing agent actually. Next one, pure nitrogen can be prepared by azides. What are they? Azides. Underline, pure nitrogen can be prepared by azides. Barium azide, BaN3 twice it is. BaN3 twice, barium azide it is. Yes, on heating then gives rise to barium plus 3 moles of nitrogen gas. It is pure one, 100% pure nitrogen obtained by azides, right? Next, properties we know students, nitrogen properties, as you know that. Nitrogen is a colorless, odorless, tasteless, non-toxic gas, less soluble in water, we know already. If it is toxic, we cannot exist on the earth's surface, because nitrogen is non-toxic, that's why it will not harm us, right? Colorless, odorless, tasteless, non-toxic gas, less soluble in water, chemically inert, already earlier class we have discussed, because of high bond energy. Getting all of you? And few more points are, it can be chemically inert under room temperature because of triple bond and high bond energy, difficult to break it, that's why stable and inert at room temperature. At high temperature it can react with metals, then forms ionic nitrides. At high temperature it can react with non-metals, then forms covalent hydrides. We will write all these points, students, now. So these are the points I told you: colorless, odorless, tasteless, non-toxic, less soluble, low boiling point, low freezing point. It has only 2 isotopes, inert at room temperature because of a triple bond, and high temperature reacts with metals, forms ionic nitrides. These are all ionic nitrides: lithium nitride, magnesium nitride, and aluminum nitride. Yet high temperature it can react with which one, that is non-metals, then forms covalent hydrides, ammonia, covalent nitrides, ammonia, nitric oxide, boron nitride, when reacts with non-metals like nitrogen, boron, etc. So these 2 points are very, very important, students. Finally, uses of nitrogen. Uses of nitrogen. Nitrogen is used to prepare NH3, nothing but ammonia. It is used to maintain inert atmosphere, because it is inert. When you pass this gas in that environment, inertness will be created. To maintain inertness, inert atmosphere, nitrogen is used. Nitrogen is used to prepare chemicals containing N2, it is industrial chemicals containing. It is used to prepare industrial chemicals which contains nitrogen as one component, and it is used in cryosurgery. Cryosurgery means a disease or a wound destroyed by freezing with nitrogen gas. Yes, a diseased tissue destroyed by freezing with liquid nitrogen. by freezing with liquid nitrogen. This phenomenon is called cryosurgery. Nitrogen used as a refrigerant to preserve a biological specimens or food materials. Nitrogen is used as refrigerant to preserve biological specimens, to preserve biological materials and food items. Biological materials and food materials in cryosurgery. These are the uses of nitrogen. Getting preparation, properties and uses. In properties, physical and chemical properties. Our next compound is ammonia. Ammonia formula is NH3. It can be prepared in the laboratory by using urea or by using ammonium chloride with calcium hydroxide, or by calcium cyanamide, or by ammonium sulfate with zinc chloride or NaOH. Getting all of you? And these are the preparations, and the major important industrial preparation is Haber's process. We'll discuss now this one. Okay students, preparations of ammonia. The second compound of nitrogen is ammonia, formula is NH3. So preparations by small scale, it means in the laboratory in small quantity we can prepare. So urea on reaction with water then forms ammonium carbonate, and on heating ammonium carbonate gives ammonia. Right students? And remember, if I wrote this, it takes time, that's why I am writing on the board. I passed and I write on the board. Next, ammonium chloride reacts with calcium hydroxide, gives ammonia with calcium chloride. Similarly, ammonium sulfate reacts with NaOH, gives 2 moles of ammonia. This is in small scale preparation of ammonia. Now on large scale, nothing but industrial preparation of ammonia by Haber's process. When nitrogen gas is passed through hydrogen gas, then gives rise to 2 moles of ammonia. What is that? 2 moles of ammonia, where delta H is equal to minus 46.1 kilojoule per mole. It means this much amount of energy is released out. So here, as per Le-Chatelier principle, actually to prepare ammonia, high pressure is required. Yes, according to Le-Chatelier's principle, high pressure, it means both reactants are gases, that's why we need to prepare by applying pressure. So gases cannot react, that's why you have to apply pressure, then gases close to each other, reaction takes place. High pressure required and low temperature favorable for the formation of ammonia. Pressure required is, students, 200 atms or 200 into 10 to the power of 5 pascals. 200 atms or 200 into 10 to the power of 5 pascals, right? Next, catalyst used is, these two are gases, that reaction is very slow reaction. To speed up the reaction we need a catalyst. The catalyst used is iron oxide, it means ferrous oxide or ferric oxide. Next, K2O and Al2O3 used to attain equilibrium faster. It means the rate of forward reaction is equal to rate of backward reaction. To attain that point, to make it very fast, we are using these two chemicals, right students? Pressure, temperature, catalyst. Temperature is 700 kelvins. To prepare ammonia, the temperature required is 700 kelvins, right? Okay, this is under the preparation of ammonia. 3 marks question, very important question. The first most important question in the P block elements is this one. They are expecting 3 marks questions from P block among 4 groups. So this is important 3 marks question. Explain the preparation of ammonia by Haber's process. Otherwise, they explain the manufacture of ammonia industrially. Conditions you need to write 4 conditions, and the flow chart, it means the diagram must be written. These 2 pipes, from these 2 pipes I can pass nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas. These 2 will contact with each other. Those 2 are gases can move apart from each other. That's why we need to apply some pressure. This is compressor, 20 megapascal, nothing but 200 atmospheric pressure. So after pressurizing, both will be passed onto the surface of a catalyst. Catalyst provide a surface to react N2 and H2 then they react, and the reaction will be sped up. Finally ammonia formed and extracted as a liquid ammonia in this. Getting all of you? The K2O and Al2O3 is used to increase the attainment of equilibrium. Now here I put upward arrow marks from the ammonia because something unreacted nitrogen and hydrogen also possible, unreacted, because of these are gases. This unreacted nitrogen and hydrogen which is present in ammonia will be again passed in this direction, passed through a pump. So again it will be what happened like this. Again it will be like this. Getting students? And again passed on to the surface of a which one, that is a catalyst. Then ammonia will be manufactured. 3 marks question, a very important question. Next students, physical properties of ammonia. Ammonia is a colorless gas, pungent smell, nothing but a concentrated smell it is, and the freezing point is very low, boiling point is very high, because the reason is hydrogen bonding. You know, ammonia undergoes sp3 hybridization with 3 bonds and 1 lone pair of electrons which are present on nitrogen. So pyramidal shape we know already. We will discuss all these points now. So these are the points I told you students. I have written it is under physical properties of ammonia. It is a colorless, pungent, odored gas. So freezing point 198.4, boiling point 239.7. Boiling point is very high because so every ammonia molecule is contact with other by hydrogen bond. Nitrogen of first ammonia and hydrogen of second ammonia undergoes hydrogen bonding. Electronegative nitrogen atom of first ammonia, electropositive hydrogen atom of second ammonia involved in hydrogen bonding. To break that hydrogen bonding, high temperature is required. That's why boiling points are very high. Next, in ammonia undergoes sp3 hybridization. In ammonia, central atom is nitrogen atom and configuration is 2s2 2p3, 1s2 2s2 2p3, last 2 shells 2s2 2p3. So 2s2 2p3 all undergoes hybridization. 1s and 3p orbitals involved in hybridization then forms 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. Among 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals, 3 hybrid orbitals forms 3 sigma bonds with 3 hydrogens. Nitrogen hybrid orbitals overlap with 1s orbitals of 3 hydrogens forms 3 bonds, sigma bonds, and this lone pair existed on nitrogen atom. It means 1, 2, 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. Getting, students? So now nitrogen acting as ammonia acting as a Lewis base. That's what very important. NH3 acts as Lewis base because the reason is, students, here a lone pair is present on nitrogen, hence it is acting as a Lewis base. So this lone pair can be easily donated. The lone pair on nitrogen atom can be donated easily, hence it is acting as which one? Lewis base. One mark question, very important. Next, liquid ammonia means NH3 plus H2O gives rise to NH4OH. Ammonium hydroxide is called liquid ammonia. Ammonium hydroxide called liquid ammonia. Ammonia can form salts with different compounds. Ammonia can react with zinc sulfate. So chemical properties I am writing. Chemical properties of ammonia. It can react with ammonia means NH4OH, reacts with ZnSO4, zinc sulfate, then gives rise to. So ZnOH twice plus NH4 twice SO4, 2 moles it is. It is a salt, students. Ammonium sulfate salt will be formed. Similarly, if it is react with FeCl3 plus ammonium, aqueous ammonia solution, it means a liquid ammonia, aqueous, it is aqueous NH3, nothing but reaction with water. Getting all of you? Yes, 3 moles I am taking here NH4Cl plus FeOH thrice. It is K3 means 3 moles, 3 will be formed. A brown PPT it is, a brown color PPT formed. Ammonium chloride is a salt formed. Next, here due to the presence of lone pair, it can act as a ligand. Due to the presence of lone pair, NH3 acts as ligand. Ligand means the species which can donate a pair of electrons to central metal element, then forms a coordinate covalent bond. We read in coordination compounds chapter, acting as a ligand. It means electron donor and Lewis base okay. Then Cu plus 2 plus 4 NH3, then gives rise to, Cu is the central atom, NH3 and NH3. There are 4 NH3s, can donate 4 pairs of lone pairs of electron, then forms 4 sigma bonds. In that manner, NH3 acting as a ligand, that is called ligand. So you can write like this, students, it will be written as Cu NH3 4 times plus 2 it is. Okay, a complex will be formed. Similarly, NH3 reacts with AgCl plus 2 NH3, AgCl plus 2 NH3 gives rise to Ag NH3 twice Cl. Ammonical silver chloride will be formed, a complex compound. In this also ammonia acting as ligand. It means ammonia donates electron to the which one, that is silver. Now it is white PPT, students. First of all, it is a colorless compound, colorless. I think the second one is a blue color, it is deep blue color. It is a blue color compound. Colors are very important. Finally, uses of ammonia. Ammonia is used to prepare fertilizers like ammonium chloride, ammonium sulfate, used as a refrigerator, used as a solvent, and used in the manufacture of inorganic compounds. I will write all those points now. So, these are the uses, students. Used as a solvent, refrigerant to preserve chemicals, used in the manufacture of fertilizers like ammonium nitrate, ammonium sulfate, urea. We will use fertilizers for agriculture purpose. Used in the manufacture of inorganic nitrogen compounds. They are nitric acid and other acids can be prepared by which one? Urea. With this, the second compound of ammonia completed. Now, the third compound of nitrogen is oxides of nitrogen. So, there are many oxides. One is N2O, NO, N2O3, N2O4, N2O5. Totally there are 6 oxides. So, N2O, NO, NO2, N2O3, N2O4 and N2O5. Nitrogen monoxide, dioxide, tetroxide, pentoxide and nitrous oxide, nitric oxide. So, these oxides names I told you, based on oxidation states we can say name, and their oxidation states, preparations, all are equations only. I need to write on the board, that is why I will write on the board, take down the table and I will explain now. Okay. Okay, students, the third compound of nitrogen is oxides of nitrogen. So, there are 6 oxides of nitrogen. It takes time, that is why I have written on the board to save our valuable time. So, first one is N2O, NO, N2O3, NO2, N2O4 and N2O5, 6 oxides. Names, especially based on their oxidation states, we can give the names. For example, N2O I am taking, students, you just observe. So, for this 2 nitrogens are there, I do not know, that is why taken as X, plus for oxygen -2, we know oxygen charge is -2, no charge on that particular oxide, no positive and no negative, that is why equal to 0. So, 2x -2 equal to 0, 2x equal to +2, where x equal to +1, +2 by 2 then becomes +1. Oxidation state is +1. It is one method actually, very difficult to measure every time like that. That is why instead of that method, simply by looking also you can say the oxidation state of a underlined element in the given formula. So, in that N2O, we need the oxidation state of nitrogen. So, oxygen -2 shared by 2 nitrogen, each nitrogen gets -1, -1 must be equalized to 0, then we will get a +1, the same value you will get by looking. And NO, nitrogen oxidation state required, oxygen -2, it should be equal to 0, that is why +2, equal to 0, +2. Next N2O3, 3 oxygens, 3 into -2, -6, -6 shared by 2 atoms, it means each one gets -3, -3 must be equal to 0, we require +3. And NO2, nitrogen oxidation state required, 2 oxygens are there, 2 into -2, -4, -4 must be equalized to 0, it means +4. So, 4 oxygens are there, 4 into -2, -8 shared by 2 nitrogens, each one gets -4, -4 must be equal to 0, we want +4. Next 5 into -2, -10 shared by 2 nitrogen, each nitrogen gets -5, -5 must be equalized to 0, then we need +5, like that. Based on oxidation state also we can say the name. Normally dinitrogen monoxide, nitrogen monoxide, nitrogen trioxide, nitrogen dioxide, dinitrogen tetroxide, dinitrogen pentoxides. These are normal names. As per oxidation state also we can say names. Nitrogen 1 oxide, nitrogen 2 oxide, nitrogen 3 oxide, nitrogen 4 oxide, nitrogen 4 oxide, and it is also nitrogen 5 oxides. These are the names, formulas and their oxidation states. These are the preparations, students. We need to write, just remember the preparations. First one from ammonium nitrate. The first one is called laughing gas. Here nitrous oxide is called laughing gas. That's why it is used as an anesthetic agent. Second one, third one preparation, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one. All are, we need to practice that. There is no logic behind this. Next, colorless gas, neutral oxide, blue color solid, this is N2O3, brown colored gas, NO2. Next, colorless solid, that is N2O4, and colorless solid, which is acidic. Acidic nature, basic nature and neutral nature of these oxides are decided by which one? Reaction with water and their structures. The structures not given in your syllabus, they deleted. Okay, right. Okay, the third component of nitrogen is oxo acids of nitrogen. Oxo acids of nitrogen. There are 3 oxo acids. So, first one is H2N2O2, H2N2O2, HNO2, HNO3, hyponitrous acid, it is hyponitrous acid, it is nitrous acid, and this is nitric acid. In our syllabus, they gave the third one, that is nitric acid, very important. Second most important question in this chapter is nitric acid preparation. Nitric acid. Preparation, students, preparation of nitric acid, preparation. First one by laboratory method, also called a small method. Laboratory method. Laboratory method means on small scale how to prepare nitric acid. That is NaNO3 plus, it means sodium nitrite passing through sulfuric acid, then gives rise to NaHSO4 plus HNO3. One hydrogen from H2SO4 and NO3 from NaNO3 formed as nitric acid. This is by laboratory method. Next one is by on large scale. On large scale. Large scale means industrial preparation. This process is called Ostwald's process. Ostwald's process. This is what 3 marks question. Very important question, students. 3 marks important question. Explain the preparation of nitric acid by Ostwald's process. Like that they are asking. Now in the first method, ammonia reacts with oxygen on platinum or rhodium catalyst under high temperature and pressure, then forms nitric oxide. Step 1 is ammonia reacts with oxygen at high temperature and pressure on a catalyst palladium or rhodium, forms NO, nitric oxide it is, right. 4NH3 plus 5 moles of oxygen gas reacts on platinum, it is platinum or rhodium as catalyst at a temperature of 500 Kelvin and 9 bar pressure, then forms 4 moles of NO plus 6 moles of H2O. It is step 1, students. It is step 1, first step. Step 2, Step 2 is the nitric oxide formed again reacts with oxygen, then forms nitrogen dioxide. The nitric oxide formed, it is not nitric oxide formed reacts with the oxygen, forms nitrogen dioxide, NO2. So the step is 2NO plus O2 gives rise to 2NO2. All are gases only. The NO2 passed through water, then forms nitric acid. Step 3 is the NO2 formed is passed through water, forms which one, that is HNO3 nitric acid. Okay. So now 3 moles of NO2 plus H2O then gives rise to 2HNO3 plus NO will be formed. The last step, the formed compound is nitric acid. NO again formed. NO formed in the first step. Even in the final step also NO formed, students. The NO formed again passed to step 1 and then forms NO2 and HNO3 will be formed. Okay. The HNO3 obtained is not a pure one, it should be purified by distillation. Up to 68% we can purify. The HNO3 obtained concentrated meaning is purified up to 68% by mass by distillation process. If you wanted to get 98% of HNO3, the 68% of HNO3 is passed through sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid acting as a dehydrating agent, the water will be removed. So 98% by mass of HNO3 obtained by passing through what is that, students? Concentrated sulfuric acid which removes water from HNO3, then we will get pure 98% of HNO3 will be obtained. It is purification of HNO3. Physical properties are there, students. It is a colorless liquid, first of all. Freezing point, boiling points we can write. In gaseous phase, it is in the linear pattern in gaseous phase. In aqueous solution only acting as acid, because in aqueous solution H plus ions are available. H plus ions will be accepted by HNO3. So proton acceptor, okay. So acting as Bronsted acid. Next, in the market it is available as 68% by mass of HNO3. The specific gravity of HNO3 is 1.504. It is acting as generally a strong oxidizing agent because itself involved in reduction readily. It can oxidize as copper into copper plus 2, zinc into zinc plus 2, but itself involved in reduction. So dilute HNO3 and concentrated HNO3 can react with metals like copper and zinc, then forms zinc nitrate or copper nitrate with byproducts of NO and NO2, whatever it may be. Chromium, aluminum, such metals never react with HNO3 because the reason is, so on chromium or aluminum surface there is an oxide film formation. So HNO3 cannot contact with a metal due to the oxide film between them. So like non-metals can also react with which one? Concentrated HNO3. If iodine reacts with HNO3, gives iodic acid. Sulfur reacts with HNO3, gives sulfuric acid. Phosphorus reacts with HNO3, gives phosphoric acid. And carbon reacts with HNO3, gives carbon dioxide. We will write all these physical and chemical properties, students, now. So, few points I have written, students, which I told you just now to save your valuable time. It's a colorless liquid. Freezing point is 231.4 Kelvin. Boiling point is 355.4 Kelvins. And it is used in the laboratory as 68% by mass of HNO3. It means 68 grams of HNO3 present in 100 grams of solution. Specific gravity is 1.504. And in aqueous solution it can act as a strong acid because it can donate electron. HNO3 donate electron in with water. HNO3 donates proton, HNO3 donates proton to water. That's why it is a proton donor acid in aqueous medium, then act as acid. Proton donor is acid, proton acceptor is base. HNO3 donating proton to, proton means H plus to water. In gaseous phase it is existed as a linear molecule, it is a linear molecule. So HON double bond OO, and this NO bond length 140.6 picometers, N double bond O length will be 121 picometers, and OH bond length will be 96 picometers. This angle will be 130, this angle will be 102. So these are the bond angles, right? Now chemical properties. After this, these are chemical properties of HNO3 heading. So HNO3 act as a strong oxidizing agent, itself involved in oxidation, but it oxidizes others. So it can react with metals and non-metals, in which act as a strong oxidizing agent. React with the copper with the dilute HNO3, then gives copper nitrate and nitric oxide. You just observe, in HNO3 nitrogen oxidation state is +5, and in NO nitrogen oxidation state is +2. +5 to +2, oxidation state decreases, it means reduction will be happened. Itself involved in reduction, act as oxidizing agent. So now copper reacts with the concentrated HNO3, gives NO2. Zinc react with the dilute N2O. Zinc react with the concentrated one NO2. Here you need to remember these products, students. These only very important. Remaining, copper reacts with the HNO3, whether it is a diluted concentrated, copper nitrate. Whether it is diluted concentrated, reacts with zinc, then gives zinc nitrate common product. But the variable product is NO, NO2, N2O and NO2. Those must be remembered. Few metals cannot react with HNO3 because of oxide film. It is a metal, students. On that there is an oxide film. When you added HNO3 to this, then there is no dissolution in HNO3 because of oxide film on aluminum or chromium. Those two metals cannot be dissolved or cannot react with nitric acid. Reaction with non-metals, with iodine, iodic acid will be formed. Carbon dioxide will be formed. Sulfur, sulfuric acid will be formed. Phosphorus, phosphoric acid will be formed. Okay. So what is the test for which one, that is nitrate ion, NO3 minus ion, HNO3 divided into H plus and NO3 minus. So to confirm the presence of NO3 in your given salt, you have done in your laboratory also in the first year course, practicals. Confirmation test for NO3 is a brown ring test. Take a sample of salt in a test tube, salt solution which contains NO3 minus ion. Add freshly prepared ferrous sulfate to the taken test tube and add which one, that is a concentrated sulfuric acid drop by drop in inclined position. Then at the junction of two layers there is a brown ring formed. So what is the formula of a brown ring and how it formed, we will discuss now. Brown ring test. Sample which contains NO3 minus ion plus freshly prepared FeSO4 solution is added to the sample. To this, concentrated sulfuric acid is added dropwise. Then forms a brown ring at the junction of two layers. This confirms the nitrate ion in our given sample. Getting all of you? So simply it is, what is that? A test tube which contains sample plus FeSO4. I am adding concentrated sulfuric acid dropwise. Okay, this is concentrated H2SO4. In between two, there is a brown ring formed. I think you have done this test in the laboratory, students. So this confirms. Okay. So in this, Fe plus 2 reduces nitrate to nitric oxide. In this test, Fe plus 2 reduces nitrates to nitric oxide. This point is very, very important, students. Nitrate means NO3 minus, nitric oxide means NO, right? So NO3 minus plus 3 Fe plus 2, NO3 minus from sample, 3 Fe plus 2 from freshly prepared iron sulfate, 4 H plus ions are produced from sulfuric acid. Then the formed product is NO plus 3 Fe plus 3 plus and 2H2O will be formed. It means Fe plus 2 becomes Fe plus 3. Ferrous becomes ferric. FeH2O 6 times plus 2. FeH2O 6 times plus 2. It means ferrous sulfate. It is plus NO formed. Then give the rest to FeH2O. I think it is 5 times. Not 6 times. Okay, 6 times. 1 will be removed and NO will be entered in place of a 6th one, plus 2 it is. So 1 H2O will be gone out among 6. Then this is a brown ring formula. Students. Very, very important. Viva question also it is. Okay. And uses of HNO3 finally. HNO3 is used to prepare many fertilizers like calcium nitrate, ammonium nitrate. It is used in the production of perfumes, dyes. Next one, explosive materials like trinitrotoluene, picric acid, and used for etching of glass, ITCH. It is different. Now we are using ETCH. Etching means, so to write something on a glass material, the chemical used is nitric acid. These are the uses I will write on the board. Okay, students, these are the uses I told you, I have written on the board. Used in the manufacture of fertilizers like ammonium nitrate, calcium nitrate, perfumes, dyes, medicines, acting as strong oxidizing agent, hence used to prepare explosive materials like trinitrotoluene and nitroglycerin, and used in pickling. Pickling means storage. Pickle means we can store, no? Pickling is nothing but a storage of stainless steel, and etching of metal, nothing but to draw something out on a particular metal. These are the uses. With this, our last component of nitrogen completed, that is nitric acid. Important, first important is ammonia preparation, second important is nitric acid preparation, very important. Next one is phosphorus and its compounds. Phosphorus and its compounds. So in this, first of all, we should study about allotropes of phosphorus. Red phosphorus, white phosphorus, black phosphorus, grey phosphorus, many are there. Second one is phosphine. Third one is PCl3, PCl5, right? Fourth one is oxides of phosphorus. It means P2O6 and P2O5. And the last one is oxoacids of phosphorus. Students, so allotropes, phosphine, PCl3, PCl5, oxides of phosphorus, deleted from our syllabus. The left is oxoacids of phosphorus. There are 7 oxoacids like H3PO2, H3PO3, H3PO4, HPO2, H4P2O7, H4P2O6. I'll write a tabular form for those names, formulas, oxidation states, number of bonds and their preparations. And after that we will write few points regarding the oxoacids of phosphorus. Okay, now. Okay students, I have written all the sets of oxoacids of phosphorus. When phosphorus reacts with oxygen and hydrogen, then forms oxoacids. There are acid series and ic series of acids. In acid series, hypophosphorus acid, orthophosphorus acid, pyrophosphorus acid. Ic series, orthophosphoric acid. Next one, pyrophosphoric acid. Next one, metaphosphoric acid. Next one, hypophosphoric acid. Getting all of you? So oxidation states I told you by looking only, instead of writing it as X like that. So we will say by looking only. Just observe students. 2 2s 4, it means oxygen carries -2, hydrogen carries +1. Remember, in all those need to calculate the phosphorus oxidation state. Then 2 into -2 -4, -4 plus 3, totally -1 should be equal to 0 plus 1. Next 3 into -2 -6 plus 3 hydrogens, totally -3 must be equal to 0 plus 3. Like that, calculate oxidation state students. I have written calculated oxidation states here. So first one, hypophosphorus acid, formula H3PO2, oxidation state +1, and it is the structure. So one OH group, POH, one POH bond, 2 pH bonds and 1 P double bond O, and it is the preparation, direct equation. That's why I have written, to save your valuable time. Next, orthophosphorus acid, H3PO3 plus 3 oxidation state, P double bond O, POH bonds 3. POH bonds in here are 3 POH bonds. Here POH bonds are 3. I wrote wrong here. POH bonds 3. P double bond O 1, it is the preparation. Next, pyrophosphorus acid, H4P2O7 plus 3. So this is the structure. By looking structure, 2 P double bond O's, 1 pH bond. Next 1, 2, 3 POH bonds. These are 3 POH bonds. Getting students? And it is the preparation. Next, orthophosphoric acid, H3PO4 plus 5. It is the structure. 1 P double bond O and 3 POH. Sorry, I think it is H3PO3, no? H3PO3. P double bond O, here only 1 it is, H it is. H3PO2. 1 pH bond is there, 1 pH bond and 2 POH bond, correct it is. Getting 2 POH bonds, and in this case 3 POH bonds, 1, 2, 3, 1 P double bond O, its preparation. Bonds are important. Like this, remaining also take down. By looking structures, 1, 2, P double bond O's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 POH bonds, POP 1 bond it is, POP 1 bond. Similarly, it is a cyclic one. In form of cycle I have drawn structure. Each phosphorus contains P double bond O and POH. So there are 1, 2, 3 P double bond O's, 1, 2, 3 POH and 1 POP, another POP, another POP, totally 3 POP bonds, bridges. Similarly, last one, students. From this tabular form, we need to write which one, that is a few points actually. Those are, in all structures 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it means 4 corners are surrounded by atoms, whether oxygen or OH groups or hydrogens. It means around phosphorus the atoms are surrounded tetrahedrally. In each case you observe P double bond O POH, double bond O POH, double bond O POH, double bond O POH, double bond O POH. In each structure commonly P double bond O and POH bonds must be there. Next, lower oxidation state. Lower oxidation state is +3, +1, +3. Lower oxidation state. In lower oxidation states, along with P double bond O and POH, pH bonds also available. Along with P double bond O and POH, P double bond O and POH must. P OH bond, P double bond O common for all structures. In lower oxidation state acids, pH bonds are available. pH, and here also pH. Getting all of you? pH bond, otherwise a POP bond, any one is present. In lower oxidation state acids, along with P OH bonds, P double bond O bonds, pH bonds also available. Getting all of you? Yes. If pH bonds increases, it means lower oxidation state, it will get into higher oxidation state easily. Lower to higher means oxidation itself acting as a reducing agent. The acid with more number of pH bonds having lower oxidation state, it increases the oxidation state by oxidation. That means itself involved in oxidation, acting as reducing agents. Getting? Next, we cannot break pH bond. This P and H bond you cannot break, because this is directly attached to the central atom. You can break, I am writing here students, P double bond O it is, pH it is, next POH. You cannot break this bond, pH bond. You can break this, which bond, that is OH bond. Getting all of you? If how many number of H plus ions removable, that is called basicity. Here this pH bond never broken because hydrogens are directly contact with phosphorus. This OH bond can be removed because H is not connected to phosphorus, connected to oxygen, not directly connected to phosphorus, only connected to oxygen, not to the phosphorus. That is why this can be removed. It means only one hydrogen removed. Removal of hydrogen is nothing but basicity. Addition of hydrogen is basicity. Basicity 1. So here 2 can be removable, not this hydrogen. Basicity 2. Here 1, 2, 3 can be removable. This H directly connect with P, not removable. 3 means basicity 3. Especially H3PO4, observe. 1, 2, 3 hydrogens attack to the oxygen but not to the phosphorus. That is why this can be removable. Basicity is 3. In case of H3PO3, these two remember important 1 mark question in the textbook. So 1, 2, these two can be removable, basicity 2, but not pH bond. Understood all of you? So I will write all these points now. Okay students, the point I told you I have written on the board. Each and every structure at least contains one P double bond O and one POH bond. So all other atoms are tetrahedrally arranged. Next, with the lower oxidation state, so pH bonds, otherwise POP bonds are possible along with the P double bond O and POH, right? So the oxo acids with +3 oxidation state tend to disproportionate. Disproportionate means a redox reaction. So +3 undergoes oxidation, +3 undergoes reduction. +3 converted into +5 oxidation, +3 converted into -3 reduction. Increase in oxidation state is oxidation, decrease in oxidation state is reduction. It means +3 to +5 and this one to this one, which one, that is reduction. So acid which contains more pH bonds or lower oxidation state are strong reducing agent because of they can oxidize easily. Then example is H3PO2, it has 2 pH bonds more. Then example given students, H3PO2 reduces AgNO3 to Ag. +1 to +3, increase in oxidation state is called, what is that? Oxidation. Itself involved in oxidation, hence it is acting as reducing agent. Getting? Right. Next, pH bonds cannot be ionizable. So if you observe this pH bond, you cannot break it. You can break OH bond, as I told you, right? So OH hydrogens only involved in basicity. So examples I told you, H3PO3 and H3PO4. H3PO3 has 2 OH groups, those only removable, that's why 2 is the basicity. H3PO4 has 3 OH groups, OH hydrogens can be removable, that's why 3 is the basicity. Tribasic, dibasic, these two are very important. H3PO3, H3PO4, both cases 3 hydrogens. But H3PO3 is a dibasic, H3PO4 is tribasic. Very important 2 marks question. Students, with this 15th group elements completed, the next concept in this unit P block is 16th group elements. We will continue in the next session.